David Haye has pulled out of his much-anticipated rematch with Tony Bellew after suffering a freak accident in training. He was in great shape. I was with him last Wednesday, spent a few hours with him in camp. Lighter, fitter than ever before. He was absolutely 100%. There were rumours before circulating that he may have a problem. So we went down to see him. We did some filming with him last Wednesday. He was absolutely tip-top. But unfortunately, after sparring the next day, he went on his usual stair climb run. So he does sets of stairs for his Achilles, the injury that he suffered in the first fight. No problem with his Achilles. 6 days a week he's been doing the stairwell run. And unfortunately, on his way down from one of the stairs, he slipped and he has injured his left bicep. And currently, he's in hospital having a procedure on the bicep, which will take, I think, 2 to 4 weeks to recover from. He'll then get back into full training. So I think they'll be looking at hopefully getting them together sometime in the spring. But of course, it's a massive blow for all of us, for the boxing world, and for Tony Bellew, who you've got to feel sorry for too. But David Haye was in phenomenal shape last week, and it's one of those things that can happen in boxing.
Yeah, well, we've just seen Tony Bellew sent out a tweet, well, roughly about 15 minutes ago with a sad face emoji. Obviously, he's been aware of what's been going on and this story now coming out into the public domain. What about the two of them then and moving forward when... Presumably there is still a desire on both sides to get this fight on.
Well, there's a desire on everyone's side to get it on. It was an absolutely fascinating first encounter in March after all the talk, all the sort of pre-hype nonsense in a way, and everyone believing, or most believing, that David Haye would blow through Tony Bellew. Didn't work out like that, did it? Bellew was right with him. He suffered the injury, Haye, in the ring, and then obviously was extremely brave for the last 5 rounds to get through it, but it was Bellew's night. You know, and the build-up to this was very different. You know, David was like, I'm going to take it very seriously this time. I think he underestimated Tony Bellew last time. He came in heavy, so he changed trainer, moving from Shane McGuigan to Ismail Salas. He'd been working on all sorts of different things, you know, going back to basics. Even ballet was brought into his camp. A lighter, different way of training, twice a day. He was eating differently. And honestly, I had a long chat with him last week, as did Johnny Nelson. And we thought he looked in phenomenal shape. You never know with fighters and the preparation for bouts. You know, things can go wrong at any time. And obviously, it was one of those things that, you know, he was so disappointed when I spoke to David about what happened on the stairs. He said, I've done this time and time again, the last 3 or 4 months, the same routine. He came down the stairs, he slipped, he was put his arm out to stop his fall on a railing, and his bicep was ruptured. So he has to have a procedure in hospital. He's going to a specialist that says this sort of injury takes 2 to 4, maybe 6 weeks to recover from, and then he'll be back punching by hopefully sort of February time, and maybe back in the ring March, April. That sort of timeline, possibly even May. But we're looking at that. Maybe we'll get the rematch on finally next year, but fingers crossed, because you never know with fighters.